Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Chicago Bears 2017 season review analytics. And of course, this is a new batch of videos I'm going to be doing, just giving a general overview of how different teams performed in the 2017 season based on team statistics. And again, this video is mainly geared towards looking at the areas that your team was below average, where you can improve, how do you look historically speaking, like how does your team stack up to all the other teams since 1998, and then of course giving a couple suggestions on what to do in free agency and what to do when it comes to the draft in terms of the different types of positions that you should probably pursue to get better as an NFL team. So definitely think about all those different sort of aspects of things when we get into it. So again, all terms and definitions are in the description. So if you're new to the channel and you're not very familiar with data and all that kind of stuff, or most of the stuff that I talk about, you can just go to terms and definitions and all that information will be there. So you can kind of get a little bit of a leg up maybe if you're not familiar with all my work, even though I'll try my best to kind of explain what the different data points and statistics are as I talk about it. So getting into the 2017 season for the Bears, when you look at their overall team statistical data, they were pretty much below average in a lot of different areas. They were below average in terms of their total D score, which is the ability to prevent first downs on defense. They were below average in terms of the O/D score, which is a combination of both the O score and D score. They were below average in terms of sack percentage, so pretty much they weren't able to prevent a lot of sacks. Offensive score percentage was really, really low, scary low, in terms of the ability to put points on the board. Below average in terms of defensive offensive score percentage, below average in terms of turnover ratio, and below average in terms of interceptions. The one area where they actually were pretty good on defense was their sack percentage, the defensive sack percentage. So the Bears definitely were able to create sacks on defense, but they weren't able to prevent points as well, and they also weren't able to create turnovers or get interceptions. So definitely two areas that were kind of troublesome on defense. And then, of course, when it comes to special teams, pretty much below average in terms of punt return yardage, kick return yardage, defensive punt return yardage, below average. Field goal percentage, really below average. Definitely a big area that needs to improve. Extra point percentage, really below average. And then their overall score was very below average. So, not the best year for the Bears, of course. When you look at the overall statistics, lots of areas to improve. And then they didn't win a lot of football games. And it shouldn't be surprising why when you look at the overall data for them this year. Now, when you look at how the Bears compare to every Chicago Bear team since 1998, based on the very same statistics, you can see, and it's weird to say this, but the Bears did get a little bit better in certain areas between what the 2016 Bears did and what the 2017 Bears did. So the biggest thing where the Bears got better was on defense. So the offense regressed. I mean, there's no debate. Like, the offense definitely regressed from 2016 to 2017. But the defense did get a lot better, in terms of their defense. So the Bears did get a little bit better, in terms of their defense. Their offense just kind of regressed. But I think if you take into account how much better their defense got, and compared to how much their offense regressed, they definitely got a little bit better as a team. Defensively specifically, they definitely got better. So you have to look at it from that perspective, I guess. So the Bears definitely didn't have the best season they could have had, but they did get a little bit better on defense. And this is just compared to what the 2016 Bears did. So definitely lots of issues to fix, but there are some silver linings, some hope, some stuff to kind of ponder and consider and stuff like that when it comes to their data. Now, when you look at how this Bears team compares to all the Bears teams since 1998, they were really below average. I mean, they definitely were way in the dumps. The 2016 season for the Bears was probably the worst season for the Bears since 1998, but The 2017 season was just kind of a little bit above that, and like in that bottom sort of area. So they definitely weren't average compared to all the Bears teams since 1998, but they definitely weren't the worst. And that's definitely debatable, but based on the overall data, they definitely weren't the worst in terms of the statistics. So just something to kind of think about, when you think about team needs and stuff like that. Now, when you look at the areas where they need to improve, so this basically looks at all the statistics we just talked about, but looks at what the averages are for teams that win 12 to 16 wins, 9 to 11 wins, 8 wins or more, or 7 wins or less. So this essentially just gives you a general overview of where you need to be if you want to be a team that wins 12 to 16 wins, or 9 or 11 wins, or 8 wins or more. This is where you need to be. Like, this is the average of those teams. So it just gives you an idea of where you should be versus where you are, if you will. And when you look at this particular statistic, the areas where the Bears should improve is total D score, basically the ability to prevent first downs. So their defense should improve in this area. And if that does improve, then they definitely could see some positives. Total O score as well, the ability to create first downs with offense. The Bears should improve in that area as well. So if they can improve both those areas, then their total O/D score will improve as well. So for the most part, if they can just improve their ability to create first downs and prevent first downs, they will definitely get better in the future if they can improve those two areas. On top of that, sack percentage. They need to be able to prevent sacks. That was not a strong suit for them. But that is definitely a thing to consider, because it was definitely a very low sack percentage, more in the 7 wins or less area. Turnover percentage. Their turnover percentage was in the 8 win or more area, but if they can bump that up to 73.62 or just 72, basically 73-ish, the 70s, then they could definitely get into that higher win range. So they definitely need to lower the turnover ratio that they have, because that definitely is keeping them kind of meh right now. Offensive score percentage, duh. Their offensive score percentage is pretty much in the 7 win or less area. They need to bump that up into the 60s, 70s, and even 80s if they want to consider winning a lot more games. They have to be able to put points on the board on offense if they want to improve. Defensive offensive score percentage can also improve as well. They're firmly in the 7 win or less area too when it comes to that particular statistic. Turnover ratio needs to improve. Interceptions need to improve. And when you look at field goal percentage as well, place kicker, big thing. Really need to improve field goal percentage, really need to improve extra point percentage. If they improve field goal percentage, their offensive score percentage will go up. So, field goal percentage does correlate a little bit to having a higher offensive score percentage, obviously. So they really need to improve that. They really need to improve their field goal percentage and their extra point percentage. And that requires a place kicker. So those areas as well. And of course, they need to improve pretty much all their statistics across the board if they want to become an 8 win to 9 to 11 win to 12 to 16 win team. If the Bears can do all those things, then I think they should see more success. Now, when you look at some other sort of data points, so now we're just going to get into I'm giving you more data. I'm giving you stuff like point differential, margin of victory, strength of schedule. I'm giving you a lot of different stuff, but the biggest things I want you to pay attention to, at least in the video, is first down completion percentage, second down, third down, fourth down, first down conversion rate with the run, and first down conversion rate with the pass. So you can basically look at all the point differential stuff on your own time. You can pause the video and just look at that stuff and refer to the description to give you what these different terms are and what they mean and stuff like that, so you can have fun kind of comparing. But the big thing to emphasize is completion percentage. That definitely needs to improve. First down especially, second down especially. Third down was actually pretty good. So if there was a positive to say about the Bears this year, was their third down completion percentage was fairly decent, above average. So that's definitely a good thing to hear. First down conversion rate with the run. When you look at it, there definitely was a lot of injuries that the Bears had to battle this year and different sort of things. But I think if they can improve third down, and kind of get back to what they were in 2016. That might be another sort of thing to kind of think about, potentially. And then, of course, when it comes to passing downs, second down conversion rate and third down conversion rate have been kind of the biggest bugaboos for them. So I think if they can try to improve second down especially, because that's the biggest weak point for them. It was getting first downs with the pass on second down. But if they can improve second down conversion rate and third down conversion rate, they'll definitely see more wins if they can improve to both those areas. So there definitely is some areas where they can help themselves. Definitely areas where they can improve in terms of the overall data. Now, when you get to the general idea, okay, we're in free agency now. We're in the draft now. Like, we are in the area where we're talking about how the Bears can get better. How do they get better? Well, first off, you have to get better offensive playmakers. They have to get more wide receivers, get more tight ends. I don't even want to say running back because they already have a lot of running backs. I get it. But I'm just giving you an idea that in order to put more points on the board, you need to have better offensive playmakers, bar none. If you're not putting points on the board, you do not have enough offensive playmakers. I mean, there's really no debate. Like, you need more offensive playmakers. That's definitely a point of emphasis. Secondly, quarterback play needs to improve next year. Now, I'm not saying that you need to throw Mitch Trubisky under the bus because you spent a very high round draft pick on him. But I'm just putting him on notice that the quarterback play needs to improve. Period. Even when Carson Wentz was kind of meh last year versus this year, the quarterback play needs to improve. Like, there's no well, Carson Wentz will be better in the future. No, he needs to improve. Like, there's no in the future he'll get better. Like, what is he right now? Right now, the quarterback play is not where it needs to be. So it needs to improve. So that's definitely another thing that needs to happen in terms of overall team needs. Thirdly, offensive line. Sack percentage, way too high this year. Way, way, way too high this year in terms of giving up too many sacks. So that needs to be improved. You don't want to put all the blame on the offensive line. Quarterback definitely can factor into this. But, again, it doesn't really matter what the context is. I'm just letting you know the sack percentage was really bad. It probably would be helpful if you drafted more offensive linemen. That's all I'm saying. So there's definitely going to be some guy going, oh, the offensive line was perfect. It was the quarterback. But all I'm saying is the sack percentage was really bad. And good offensive linemen could improve it. So that's all I'm saying. Fourthly, defensive playmakers. Linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties, specifically to create turnovers. Sack percentage could improve. You could get more edge players to sack the quarterback. But if you really want to get better, if you really want to improve in an area which you're lacking, turnovers, interceptions, those types of things. Linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties. Sacks, I wouldn't really worry about sacks. You have the prerequisite amount of sacks to win a lot of football games right now, based on how you performed this year. You have the prerequisite. So you could definitely get better, but you already got the prerequisite. I would focus on things where you're really bad, like turnovers, like interceptions. So those two areas definitely need to be improved upon. And then lastly is a place kicker. You have to get a good place kicker. You have to get a guy that can drill those three pointers consistently, extra point as well consistently. And if you do that, your offensive score percentage will increase as well, and happy times will be had for all. So this is what the needs are based on data. These are the areas where they need to improve based on data. There's definitely context to discuss and film work to do and arguments I probably will see, but all I'm letting you know is this is what you were on paper. It's up to you to improve or make me eat my words or whatever. I'm not eating my words either because this is just the facts. It's just the facts. So definitely those are the big things I would think about in the offseason, think about getting in the draft, thinking about getting in the free agency. I'm going to be doing free agency videos in the future. I'm also going to be doing a free agency guide, which is going to come out as soon as I get all the data from this year to do it. But overall, leave a comment below if you have any questions, if you have any general ideas about what the Bears might become next year. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so that you're always notified when another video of mine drops. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.